Imagine standing on a beach in 2026, staring at the waves. Beneath those depths miles below the surface lies one of the greatest untapped resource vaults in human history. Trillions of dollars worth of cobalt, nickel, rare earth elements, and copper sit scattered across the seabed. These are ancient just metals. They read the building blocks of the 21st century, essential for electric cars, wind turbines, smartphones, and all the green technologies humanity is racing to deploy. But here's the twist. While nations haggle over climate deals and trade wars on land, a quieter, messier contest is taking shape out of sight. A secret war to decide who owns the ocean floor. In 2026, with deadlines, loopholes, and technologies converging, this battle has moved beyond possibility. It's a reality, and the consequences will ripple for generations. The undersea gold rush. The deep ocean is no longer just the realm of explorers and marine biologists. To miners, it is the new frontier of wealth. Three key types of deposits are drawing feverish attention. Polymetallic nodules, potato-shaped stones found littering vast abyssal plains, containing manganese, cobalt, copper, and nickel. Seafloor massive sulfides, large metallic deposits growing around hydrothermal vents, packed with copper, zinc, silver, and gold. Cobalt-rich crusts, mineral layers forming on underwater mountains, containing cobalt, platinum, and rare earths. Demand for these metals is surging because they are critical for batteries, magnets, and renewable infrastructure. Every Tesla battery, every offshore wind turbine, and every smartphone is pulling humanity closer to the deep sea as a resource source. Why 2026 matters? To understand why 2026 is such a decisive year, we need to rewind. In 2021, the Pacific island nation of Nauru triggered a little-known clause in the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea unclosed, called the 2-year rule. That deadline came in July 2023, but global consensus proved elusive. Some nations demanded stronger environmental protections, while others, along with hungry corporations, lobbied for rapid approvals. By 2025, there was still no final rulebook. Now, in 2026, we're standing in a gray zone. Companies may legally begin with provisional permission, as the ISA scrambles to catch up. In practice, this means 2026 marks the start of the deep ocean mining era. The war over ownership is no longer hypothetical, it's underway. Who is claiming the deep? Ownership of the seabed is split between exclusive national zones and international high seas. Coastal nations control up to 200 nautical miles beyond their shores there. Exclusive economic zones, e.g., any resources there belong to them. Beyond that, the area international waters considered the common heritage of mankind. This is managed collectively, at least in theory, by the ISA. The tension is simple. Companies and powerful nations want control. Small island nations see development lifelines. Scientists urge caution. Environmentalists demand a moratorium. Here are China, already the most aggressive, holding more ISA exploration contracts than any other country, and advancing mining robots suited to extreme depths. United States, not a unclosed signatory, but working through proxies like U.S. firms partnered with Pacific nations. America's EV and tech industries are pushing hard for independence from Chinese mineral dominance. European Union, torn between industrial urgency and environmental commitments. Germany, France, and Norway are cautiously supportive, though public pressure is fierce. Japan and South Korea, investing heavily in technology and exploration, they see seabed minerals as key to resource security. Island states like Nauru and Tonga, partnering with companies such as the Metals Company, hoping resource development brings economic independence. Thus, the ownership isn't about flags planted on the seafloor. It's about political leverage, industrial muscle, and legal maneuvering. The role of corporations. In practice, it's not just governments making moves. Private companies may be the sharpest tip of the spear. The Metals Company, based in Canada, for instance, has already tested robotic harvesters in the Clarion-Clipperton zone of the Pacific. These massive crawler-like machines look like bulldozers crossed with submarines, designed to vacuum nodules into pipes stretching miles to surface ships. Other industry players are experimenting with ROVs, remote-operated vehicles, sonar mapping, and extraction systems. To investors, these companies promise a new gold rush, critical to the green economy. To critics, they embody a dangerous corporate push to monetize the global commons with minimal oversight. By 2026, corporations are not merely participants, they are kingmakers in this shadowy global race. Engineering brilliance versus ecological gamble. Extracting minerals 5,000 to 6,000 meters underwater is one of the hardest engineering tasks imaginable. Yet, the technology giant robots, flexible riser systems, Satellite-linked navigation is near operational, but every scoop of nodules comes with environmental questions. Disturbances of the seafloor create sediment plumes that can drift for miles, smothering creatures we barely understand. Noise and light pollution disrupt deep-sea species adapted to the dark and silence. Mining near hydrothermal vents risks destroying rare ecosystems where new life forms are still being discovered. Experts warn of carbon storage disruption. Deep-sea sediments trap immense amounts of carbon. Stirring them up could exacerbate climate change. For opponents, this is reckless bulldozing of Earth's last pristine wilderness. For supporters, it is a necessary sacrifice to power the technologies that protect Earth from fossil fuels. Law versus loopholes. Legally, the ISA is entrusted to manage the resources of the high seas for the benefit of all mankind. Profits from extraction are supposed to be shared among nations, especially poorer ones. But skeptics point out glaring flaws. Wealthy countries fund most exploration and hold the technology, ensuring they dominate. Benefit-sharing mechanisms remain vague, often skewing toward investors. Transparency issues plague the ISA, raising concerns about lobbying and bias. By 2026, the system resembles a legal patchwork rather than a shield for fairness. Without urgent reform, deep ocean ownership risks turning into another case of the powerful rule. The weak endure. 2026, the resource war intensifies. So what does 2026 actually look like? National competition. Countries jockey to shore up mineral security as demand for EVs, wind turbines, and semiconductors explodes. Corporate lobbying. Firms press governments to fast-track approvals, promising eco-friendly solutions while critics call it greenwashing. Environmental pushback. NGOs and scientists demand a moratorium, pointing out we understand more about the surface of Mars than about Earth's deep sea beds. Strategic risks. Seabed resources may inflame geopolitical rivalries, particularly as China, the US, and Europe seek technological dominance. This isn't resource competition of the past marches across deserts or jungles. It's happening underwater, out of public sight, with stakes just as high. The moral dilemma. Here lies the moral paradox. If we don't mine the oceans, we may struggle to build the infrastructure humanity needs to escape fossil fuels. If we do, we may irreparably scar ecosystems we don't yet understand, trading one crisis for another. Some argue innovation like advanced recycling and alternative materials can reduce the need for seabed mining. Others claim demand is rising too steeply, and delaying mining merely delays progress. 2026 forces us to ask, will we choose responsibility or rush for resources at any cost? Ending, who owns the ocean floor? As of 2026, ownership of the ocean floor is not a matter of maps or borders, but a tangled web of politics, technology, corporations, and ethics. Nations bicker, corporations experiment, scientists warn, and regulators struggle. The war is not just for minerals, it's for the future. The secret is out. The ocean floor is no one's and everyone's. What remains hidden is whether humanity has the wisdom to manage it before greed takes over. And if unraveling these hidden power struggles excites you as much as it unsettles you, don't just stay at the surface. Dive deeper with us like the thought. Drop a comment with your take. And subscribe to keep exploring the battles shaping Earth's most mysterious frontier.